What is going on, guys? It is Chus here with no buts about it. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, as you can tell by the title, you already know we're going to be talking a little bit about Pittsburgh Steelers and Cam Heyward and that new deal. But before I get into that information and that news, I just want to give a real quick disclaimer because I know for some of you that are subscribed to the channel, and if you're not, please give us a subscribe. And if you like the video, make sure to leave us a thumbs up as well as a comment. But nonetheless, if you're not new or you are new to the channel, you'll know or you won't know the quality might seem a little different. I'm using my AirPods, I'm using my MacBook Air, and I'm also using the built-in camera that the MacBook Air provides me. If you're not new to the show, or you are, I actually do use a different laptop when I'm recording the show, as well as an extended microphone, as well as an extended camcorder, because the built-in camera for the HP laptop is actually garbage. However, point being is my HP laptop yesterday had an indefinite stroke, and now I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with it. But I knew how important it was to get you guys this information and my brief analysis on what I think about the whole situation regarding Cam Heyward getting re-signed. Cam Heyward has finally signed a new contract extension after going into his final year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of people were kind of worried, kind of concerned in Steelers Nation if Cam Heyward was even going to resign. I figured that if he didn't resign, that meant that this was his final year with Pittsburgh. I figured, well, maybe Cam Heyward is going to retire after this year. I mean, the dude is already 35 years old and he's in his last year of his contract, and it might just make a little bit of sense for him to retire and end his career here already. However, it seemed like from interviews over the summer, if you're from Pittsburgh or you're not, you might have seen that Cam Heyward has kind of alluded to the idea that he still wants to keep playing after this year. So that kind of question was raised. Well, will Cam Heyward actually stay here? Will he resign? Will the Steelers resign him with his age being 35? There was a lot of questions and a lot of concern, especially from me, from Steelers Nation, about what was next and what the contract would look like if he was to re-sign. Would they sign him to a year? Would they sign him to two? And well, it wasn't one and it wasn't two. It ended up being none other than 3 years, $45 million with $29 million in new money. And the new deal also includes $15 million as a signing bonus and $16 million fully guaranteed in this contract, which is pretty big considering his age and his longevity with the Steelers and the career that is probably going to be on the brink of ending here soon. And I hate to say that because I love Cam Heyward and I love watching him play. I watched his softball charity event a couple of months ago back in July. Great guy. He's a 2023 Walter Payton Man of the Year recipient, and he is just a great person for Pittsburgh Steelers and for the city of Pittsburgh. However, with his age being 35, it kind of gives both the perspective of, well, if he could keep kicking it, well, so be it. But I want to before I just start rambling about everything, this is a crazy contract, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I kind of mean it in a relatively good way, but it was not a contract that I was expecting when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Usually we don't spend a lot of money, especially when it comes to older players. We're more likely to trade players away or let them go rather than re-sign these players, especially when they're in their mid-30s. However, there's a big difference between Cam Heyward and just some random guy that we've had for 4 years and is 34 and we're letting him go. Cam Heyward has always been a Steeler. He is a legendary player, and he is the heart and soul of the defense. I know TJ Watt is the first thing you think of when it comes to the defense. However, Cam Heyward has been here and has always been that locker room presence, that leader that everyone has looked towards in the locker room for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and has been a huge, huge asset to this team. And for us to lose Cam Heyward would be a pretty huge blow, especially for a lot of these younger players and a lot of this talent that is really rallying around Cam Heyward, considering we do have a lot of younger guys, yes, but we do have a lot of more experienced and veteran guys in the defense, and I think that Cam Heyward really kind of rallies those guys together, whether it's TJ Watt, Minka, these new guys like Patrick Queen, or even Joey Porter Jr., who's only in his first year, well, technically second year because he's not a rookie anymore, but he really rallies these guys together, and I really think he is a perfect mold for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the one thing that is crazy is that most likely, as I kind of mentioned in the beginning of this video, most likely Cam Heyward will retire a Pittsburgh Steeler. I mean, if he doesn't, that will be absolutely insane. By the time he reaches 38, with all the wear and tear that he has on his body, I'll be very shocked that he'll want to keep going, or if the Steelers will even re-sign him at that point. If they do, it'll probably be for a year. But most likely, the way that everybody has been kind of announcing it and reporting on it, it seems like this is going to be the last contract that they're going to sign for Cam Heyward, because by the time he reaches 38, if not earlier than that, I think it'll probably be the end of Cam Heyward's legendary career here in Pittsburgh. Like I said, I am very happy with this signing. I think it was a little shocking, like I said, for the $16 million guaranteed for the 3-year, $45 million of a contract, considering that the Steelers don't always like to spend money. But I feel like in this sense, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I was even concerned if they were going to re-sign TJ Watt years and years ago, if they were going to, what they were going to do with him. And people were wondering, oh, he might leave. I don't know if the Steelers are going to be willing to pay him the most because, he deserves it. But will the Steelers be willing to spend that much money on him? Well, clearly, if they're willing to spend it on TJ, I think they're willing to spend it on Cam, and they were. And honestly, I think both of those two guys are huge pieces to the puzzle when it comes to the defense, even though Cam Heyward's a little older and may not be as big of a presence that you notice whenever you're watching the game. Like if you're not a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you're probably thinking of TJ Watt and how much of a presence he is. I mean, he's had multiple historic seasons, multiple nominees for Defensive Player of the Year. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year. He also had 22 and a half sacks, tying the record for most sacks in a season, just half a sack short of the record. Crazy. You think of TJ Watt, but Cam Heyward, I really feel like, is that puzzle piece that many people aren't considering when it comes to the defense. He's just a very good guy, and he does a lot for the city, and honestly really deserved that Walter Payton Man of the Year award last year. So honestly, in my opinion, I'm glad that they're paying him. But the one thing that I am a little concerned about with Cam Heyward going forth in the next couple of years is injuries. I don't like to get weary or jump the gun too much when it comes to situations like this. Cam Heyward, being 35, is a little older. I mean, I still have that same concern with Russell Wilson coming in for the Steelers. I mean, some of these guys are a lot older, so they're a little bit more injury prone, and or if they're not as injury prone, they're more susceptible to long-term injury recovery. So even if, for example, Cam Heyward doesn't get hurt this season, but he tweaks his ankle next season, he might be out a lot longer than, for example, a Patrick Queen or a Joey Porter Jr. And I'm just saying those guys because I already mentioned them, but you get what I mean. So it kind of concerns me because this contract is a 3-year deal. It's $16 million fully guaranteed, but I really don't think that this is a loss here. I think that this is a pretty solid deal. Honestly, pay the man, as many people have said. I 100% agree with this. Pay the man. Cam Heyward deserves this contract. I love Cam Heyward. And honestly, I would rather take the injuries over paying anybody else. This man has been the heart and soul of Pittsburgh, and I know that many people always consider other pieces and other players as the soul and heart of the Steelers defense or the team as a whole, but I really think that Cam Heyward sticks above and beyond when it comes to this team. So what do I think of the contract? I think it's great. I just thought it was a little shocking. Always a little concerned when it comes to injury, when it comes to their age, but when it comes to Cam Heyward, like I said before, as a Steelers fan, I'm very excited for this. But if you're new to the channel, please let me know what you think of this video and the content and what you think we can improve on and whatnot. We're still getting going here, but if you are new to the channel and you did enjoy this video, give us a like and give us a subscribe. And also, depending on what you think, please let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you agree with me, if you're a Steelers fan, you agree with the signing, let me know. If you disagree, you think that Cam Heyward should not have signed and should have went somewhere else, let me know why in the comment section below. I'll try to respond as much as possible. I'm not on here as much as Josh is, and he is the man that is in charge of the whole operation, and I'm just the guy that kind of color commentates, I guess. But when it comes to the Steelers, I'm very passionate, and I'm pretty optimistic, and I'm also pretty in the middle when it comes to a lot. I'm not very over-the-top Steelers fan. I don't think that us signing Russell Wilson gets us an automatic Super Bowl bid, and I also don't think that any time that we lose that we should fire the entire team. I've had those moments, but over my years and my maturity, I have learned a lot. But nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching this video. And like I said, let me know in the comments what you think, and check out the description for contact information when it comes to email. If you have a question or have any information to send us, give us an email at bullmoosepodcast2@gmail.com. It's in the comment section below. You can follow us at No Butts Show on Instagram. That's also in the bio below. I believe Josh's Twitter is also in the description below, not bio, description. It's also in the description below, as well as our merch and maybe a couple of other things. I don't really know the spiel as well as Josh does, but nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Here we go, Steelers.